Nation. How you guys doing? Good evening. It's another Monday night live here with Mark Saint on the channel Brazil Unsubtitled. Always a pleasure to hear you guys, to be with you guys. Just making the regular check. Yeah, to see if the channel, the sound is working, and it is. Nice to see you guys. Nice to be here. I hope you guys have a tremendous week. I hope this Monday has been great so far. And we're just starting a week, one more week, for us to talk about Brazil and everything that involves this beautiful country. And also the work here on the channel. If you guys want to discuss, make suggestions, give opinions, you're always welcome for these kind of things, right? I just want to start our live stream as I usually do, which is to let you guys know, if you are here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, smash the like button. Very important that this interaction with the channel take place so that we can be here more often and do more things for you guys. Hello, Tisha. How are you? Always good to see you here. So make sure you smash the like button, you subscribe to the channel, very important. And let me tell you, if this is the first time you guys are here, I want to say we have live streams every Mondays and Fridays on this channel from 6:30 sometimes until 8 Brasilia time, always. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, depending on the day and depending on how busy my schedule has been, but normally from 6:30 until 8 is possible, right? Especially Mondays. So I'll be here with you guys until probably 7:50 or something, because I have an appointment at 8, but it's plenty of time for us to talk about Brazil, talk about the channel. Also, I try, but I sometimes fail. The past few weeks, I'm going to say I have been failing a lot with the posting of the videos, but it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4 p.m. Brasilia time. I'm just adjusting a lot of things because September is right there. September, we complete the 7th year of existence of this channel. So I have been working hard in order to bring you new things, other than my other appointments and jobs that I have to lead. But I'm doing my best to be here with you guys as often as I can. So remember, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4 p.m. Brasilia time, you're going to have a new video. Also, there are two other channels that we normally mention here. The second one is about Brazilian Portuguese. So if you guys want to learn the Brazilian Portuguese with me, with my own method, my own techniques that have been able to teach foreigners to speak the language in less than 1.5 years. Believe me, it's happening. So just send me a direct message on Instagram. The name is the same, brazil.unsubtitled. Follow me there as well. And ask me questions about the Brazilian Portuguese course. 1 second, guys. Yeah. I thought you had picked up. I'm in a live stream now. Guys, another thing that you might not know, I'm a father, so fathers have obligations. Just a second, please. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's just with me that these things happen, believe me. So I was saying we have the Brazilian Portuguese channel. Go check it out. It's called Portuguese with Mark Saint. I'm going to leave the link right there for you guys to see. And the other one is Brazilian Market with Mark Saint. This third channel is focused on talking about investments in Brazil. It's still embryonic because I'm still working on producing videos for there. But subscribe already, and you guys will receive lots of new content soon enough, I promise you. So I was saying, I'm gonna put the link right here. 1 second, guys. So it's Brazilian market with Mark Saint. This is one of the channels. Let me just put on the chat here. And the other one is Portuguese with Mark Saint as well. So Portuguese with Mark Saint. So if you guys are here already watching the live stream, you're welcome to step up and say hello and talk and ask your questions and give me suggestions. So you're always welcome. Remember, your participation makes this live stream, okay? I want to say, guys, just a second. Bye. I want to say, I had a live stream on Saturday night because I had promised for a few of you guys. Hello, Charles. How are you? Always welcome. I had promised to go to a Festa Junina and film from there, and I had the idea of going to a place in Consolação, on Consolação Street, almost close to the downtown area. Very nice place, to be honest. The church was also very cool. But when we got to the gates of the place, after taking an Uber and stuff, I was with Manu and Tali, the place was closed. The priest was outside talking to a few people and said, oh, we're not going to have this event tonight. But the internet says otherwise. So it said that there would be the Festa Junina held there, but it didn't happen. We ended up very frustrated, and we needed to pick up another Uber. And the closest place that I found that was interesting to go see was one in Pinheiros. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I would say the live stream was nice. I ended up interviewing a Baiana, very typically dressed with those Baiana clothing. She explained how to make acarajé and another one from Bahia, another food that I don't remember the name. And I also had an interview with a woman that was preparing the vinho quente, right? And she explained in details. She said a lot of things about the preparation. It was very nice, but it was so packed. It was impossible to enjoy the party as I expected. So I regret because of that. And also, it cost 30 reais per person. So imagine how expensive it was compared to the others. There are some others that are more expensive, but this one you start with $30, and that was not my idea. My idea was to go just start spending the money with the sweets and the drinks, not just to go in, right? But anyways, and then I filmed for an hour or something the live stream. Don't know how many of you guys were there. But at the end, I realized when I was going to buy the card for me to consume inside, I shared my CPF number. At least I didn't think my wife would put the camera so close to me, and there was a long line behind me, so people were waiting for me to really go and get out. And I ended up mentioning the number of my CPF, which is a bad idea. Internet, you mention a document like this. So I tried to edit it out of the whole video, but the YouTube only gave me an opportunity to save it as a new video. So it ended up screwing the whole thing up. I had to transform the whole material into a new video through the website of YouTube, not through my personal computer and my software that I'm usually used to. So I had to delete that version that had more than 100 people viewing this, or more than 100 views. And I had to repost it, and it got less than 20 views, but too bad. It is what it is. I'm just sharing with you guys because if you got confused, I tried to just edit it out, but keep the live stream. And the live stream was monetizing, even though we had music, because I was a little afraid, because they have music, of course. It's playing all kinds of music, and you are with the camera there. Of course, you're gonna get a copyright. At least that's what I thought. But apparently, if it's a live stream, they share the money. So half is for you, half is for the owner of the song. So I said, okay, but when I added the number of my document out, or the moment I spoke the number of my document, the only form that I had to save was through posting it again. And this one, because it's a video, not a live stream, then it gave me copyright, and I didn't have the opportunity to monetize that video. But I'm not crying here. I'm just telling you, just to explain exactly why it got a little confusing. First the live, and then the video was posted again. But it's okay. Next time, I think I'm learning with this the whole thing here, to be honest with you. Little by little, I'm learning how to deal with the platform. And everything is a school for me. I was happy because I ended up talking to very nice people. So if you guys want to see the result of it, if you didn't have an opportunity, I strongly recommend you guys go visit this live stream, now a video, because it's a long one, so you can skip parts because I couldn't edit it out. But you will see me interviewing a couple of people and asking questions about the Brazilian snacks and stuff. It was very nice. Another thing, next weekend we're gonna have one very famous and popular celebration, I would say festival, that happens here once a year from the Italian community. São Paulo had a lot of immigration from the Italians to the city. So we're gonna have this next weekend, and of course Brazil and Subtitle is going to be there. If you can support us by watching the live, by being there, I'm gonna let you know until the end of the week. Probably by Friday, I will have announced all the details, what time the party is gonna take place, because I just saw it today, my wife and I, and she said, let's do it. But I need more information. As soon as I have them, I'm gonna let you know. And I'm going to put the time for you guys to follow me there, because the Italian community is amazing here in São Paulo. They have a very nice celebration. It happens at this time of the year. So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to enjoy and see this cultural diversity in Brazil, And if you can support, of course, by becoming a member and helping the channel do this kind of things more often, you're always welcome. All right? Shoulders suck. So guys, if you guys are following the Flamengo, the World Cup of clubs, the Club World Cup, it's very nice to see that the Brazilian teams are doing so fine. Botafogo lost for 1 goal today, but it got qualified for the next phase, the round of 16. Probably is going to play against Palmeiras. Let's see. So 2 Brazilian teams clashing. But they're doing fine. I'm very happy to see Flamengo playing the way they are. Unbelievable. Even Fluminense played really well. He was losing the game, I think. And it changed the whole thing. Incredible, just like Flamengo did. So fantastic. Hi, Baldini. How are you, man? Yes, actually, just like the Japanese, there are specific neighborhoods that are more, uh, you know, more resided by these peoples, you know. So Liberdade for the Japanese also, that includes Vila Mariana. I think from Liberdade on to the south, you're gonna have a few areas for the Japanese. For example, Praça da Árvore, Saúde, São Judas, you have some Japanese. But more specifically, Vila Mariana and Liberdade. But the Italians can also be found a lot in the east side called Moca. There are a lot of Italians there. Some areas of Brás, if I'm not mistaken, but also with the Portuguese. But there is one called Bexiga, Bairro do Bexiga, which is pretty close to Brigadeiro Luiz Antônio Avenue, which crosses Paulista Avenue. So we have Paulista Avenue going to the downtown, not going to the Jardins. You're gonna have Bexiga at the end of Paulista, going south. And this Bexiga area has a lot of Italian people, a lot of cantinas. They say cantinas, which is the Italian restaurant, with very nice food. Seriously, I remember Tali once told us to go there. I think we were celebrating an anniversary or something. I don't remember what it was. And I had the real Italian pasta made by an Italian chef. It's so different from what I was accustomed to eating, you know? So good, so high quality, the texture, the flavor, the preparation's just amazing. And they're gonna have this party. I don't know if it's a Kirupita. It's a saint, an Italian saint. It's like a festa junina, but with the Italian community. So of course I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show you everything because it's a very big celebration. I don't remember to have been there before. I think I have just seen the celebration through the Brazilian TVs here in São Paulo. They normally go and film. It happens once a year. So this time around, we're gonna be there. I'm gonna take the channel there. Brazilian subtitle will be there. And I count on you guys to watch, to support, to help us with all these things. Remember, I say become members, guys. There are communities that's $3 a month. It's a month. And it goes a long way with the costs that we have with transportation. I have to pay Uber. I have to buy things there. I have to go to these places. Otherwise, I can't produce good content for you guys. Any support that you guys give, it goes a long way. All right? I'm only supporting Chelsea. Okay, I want revenge against Flamengo. Yeah, I think Flamengo is gonna win. Let's see. Let's see. Flamengo is playing really well. I just hope they keep doing this. For me, it's the strongest club from all the four that Brazil has representing the country. I can imagine, Charles. You know, it's funny because when I was in Europe with a friend, we went to Austria first, and then Germany, and then Czech Republic, and then England. But I remember when I was in Austria, we were in Vienna, and we were looking for a place to eat, and I remember we were visiting a lot of places, sightseeing a lot, and we were very hungry. It was almost dark, and we saw a small restaurant that sold Italian food. And then my friend said, "This is the place we're gonna eat." So we went in, and I had an spaghetti with some, I don't remember what it was. I think I'm talking to you about food and my mouth is watery. So I think it was spaghetti with meatballs, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember I was eating like, and my whole body was celebrating, you know, like my cells, all my cells were vibrating. Woohoo! I'm eating, consuming food because it was kind of cold and we were hungry. And I remember my friend saying, "You know, Mark, Italian food saves the world." And I never forgot that. I agreed with him. He said, Wherever you are, if you find an Italian food, you're okay." Because everybody's accustomed to to the Italian food. Everywhere in the world, you have Italian communities. You have their, because of Rome, right? So their expansion. And the food is just amazing, let's be honest. Italian food is just amazing. So never forgot that. It was amazing. Of course, it was kind of spicy, but it's still really good. Really good. And I agree. If you really have it from an Italian cook, chef, oh, it's just fantastic, right? Oh man, I loved Austria. It's a very advanced country with the best city to live in the world. Not my words, but every year they have a survey, and they end up finding that the city with the best quality of life in the world is Vienna. And the second was a place in Canada. I don't think it's anymore. But wow, Austria is just incredible. I remember having a blast there, visiting the best palaces and from the Habsburg dynasty, and seeing so many beautiful museums. I got to a museum there, never forgot, downtown Vienna. We had a painting that was older than Brazil. It was from the 1300s. Never forgot that. Never forgot. It was right there before my eyes, and I said, Jesus, can you imagine that object was painted in the 1300s and it's still here in front of me? The, the, the creator, the author, is not even Ash anymore, but his creation is right there, right in front of my eyes. Just incredible. Never forgot. So yeah, I also visited some castles. We basically drove all around, and then we entered Germany by car. We went to Frankfurt, and then from Frankfurt we drove all the way to Pilsen, which is a city in Czech Republic, and then we went to Prague, and from Prague all the way back to Berlin. Yeah, all the way back to Berlin, and from Berlin we took a flight to London. It was a very nice trip. 2009, it's been a while already, no? Wow. So, so basically 16 years. What Italian food? I was talking about Italian food that I ate in Austria, right? Not in Brazil. But I think Italian food changes very much depending on where it is prepared. So the Brazilians have their form of preparing the Italian food because the recipes they end up changing, right? I believe the way that it's prepared in São Paulo might not be the way that it's prepared in say Fortaleza, Ceará, right, which is in the northeast. So I think it depends upon who prepares and how he prepares. The basis is the same. If you're gonna make it spaghetti, of course you gotta follow the same recipe. But at least in Brazil, Brazilians tend to increment the recipe with details like some herbs and the herbs are typical of every region. So if it's prepared in Bahia, it's gonna have the Bahian form or the Baiano form of preparing that thing. But yes, basically that's it. Yeah, as I just answered Josh, it depends on where you go, but Charles now. But it's good. It might not be as good as eating in Rome, of course, because they are the crib of the whole thing, right? But I like the food in São Paulo, and São Paulo is considered the world capital of gastronomy by many specialized magazines. Because here we have restaurants of all kinds, so we compete very much with New York. Because you can eat very good food in every corner from every place. So, and not to mention the variety of Brazilian food that you can find in São Paulo. It's impossible for you to come here and not be satisfied with what you're looking for to eat, because you're gonna find so many things from the Northeast due to the migration of the northeastern people. They have come here in numbers as well from the very beginning of the city, I believe, for looking for a better life. So here they have opened restaurants and they have taught the Paulistas their own preparation of specific food. They have brought local food, sometimes pork. They prepare pork in a very different way. So it's a very rich city in terms of gastronomy as well. I think you can find a lot of interesting things. By the way, I don't know if you guys follow me already on Instagram. If you don't, please do. If you use Instagram, go find the profile there. It's Brazil.unsubtitled. I just want to say that one of the things that I was most impressed about the videos that I keep seeing is something that I posted on the story last night, or no, it was this morning, I guess. It was a video from a Portuguese guy that talks about São Paulo, the immigration to the city, the historical things, and then he uses some footage from the past, but also artificial intelligence in order to illustrate what he was narrating. But I think it's one of the most impressive videos I have seen on this segment of telling the story of São Paulo. So if you guys haven't seen, go to my profile and watch this video. It's on my stories. It's incredible. It tells the story of São Paulo, how the city developed, and also what you can look for when you come to São Paulo, what you can expect to see once you are in the city, the contrast between the old, right, the quaint with the modern, with the glass windows, with the modernization, with the tradition, with the little of every people that immigrated to this city and have left here a tremendous contribution in terms of culture. So fantastic. Go find my profile, check this in the stories. I highly recommend you to see this video because I was baffled. I woke up and I saw that video. I was very baffled. And another thing I want to share with you guys, São Paulo is under constant transformation at the moment. One second. So São Paulo is under constant transformation. I want to try to follow some of these modifications that they are making to the city. I don't know. I think when I look around, it's like the administration of this state and the city as well. They are having a sense of urgency, which for us Paulistas is spectacular, because we are seeing renovations and work in every different part of the city. Like, for example, I want to share with you guys that the neighborhood of Liberdade has just started being renovated. So the government is making a lot of modifications in the area because they have seen how many tourists the neighborhood attracts. They have seen how many people come from far away to see what the neighborhood is offering. So they're going to expand the sidewalks. They're going to change the pavement everywhere. And they're going to build new areas where the tourists can walk on. So, my God, if you guys see the project, like Liberdade kind of is above some important avenues in São Paulo. So you have some passovers that, or maybe streets that go over another avenue. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna cover the rest of the avenue to expand the area where the tourists can walk, where people can sell their things, where people can enjoy. So they're gonna bring in new Japanese gardens. Guys, it's just spectacular if you take a look at the project that has been approved, and they are already starting the renovation. It's probably gonna take 2 or 3 years, but I think in 5 years, guys, if you consider the whole renovation of the city, São Paulo will be irrecognizable in terms of quality. It's gonna be even better than it is now, and it's really thinking of serving these people who come here better, the people who want to go to Liberdade, so that they don't flock in cramped passages like it happens today. There are points that it's impossible to walk because there are so many people. So sometimes you have to wait for a load of people to go by, and then you go. So this is gonna change. They are expanding to the sides, covering the area of the avenue. So the avenue is gonna become a tunnel automatically, and you're gonna be walking both left and right, and see spaces where people will be able to spread out and enjoy the beauty of the Japanese culture, the Asian culture very much. So this is just one of the examples. There are so many other things going on, like a surface train that has already been approved and is going to be installed in the downtown area. I've already mentioned that here. That is similar to what we have in Rio, the VLT from Rio. So, wow, just wait. You guys will be baffled if you come to São Paulo, or if you have come here and you know the city, you will be baffled in a couple of years how different it will be. Even, for example, expansions of trains they are making. For example, they are expanding the train to access the areas of the airport, right? The terminals of the airport. Now they're mentioning of expanding from the airport to other areas that were not even mentioned before. So the focus was really taking the train into the terminal. Now it's gonna reach other places, or it's gonna connect to another city. So amazing how São Paulo is investing billions and billions and billions of dollars in making transportation a priority, or improving the quality of the people who live here, and also the people who are visiting, which I think it's tremendous, you know? Yeah, Charles, the entire city is going through a reconstruction process. The entire city. I really wanted to follow this suit, you know? I'm just sometimes it's just impossible for me to be able to follow all these things and go show you in details. I really wanted, but let's see how much I can show you, because they are. I don't know. After the pandemic, I think, you know, when you leave your apartment with probably more money because you spent a year and a half without consuming much, just buying things from the supermarket, not traveling, not investing. And there are a lot of people with money in the city. So suddenly there was a boom in construction in terms of apartments, right? If you have seen how many real estate projects I have announced here on the channel, it's just incredible. And La Vie is just one of the companies. There are so many others, you know. And also the government is investing a lot in São Paulo. Maybe these things are walking hand in hand, right? Right. I mean, like people investing in properties and the government improving the neighborhood, improving the quality of the streets. There's still a lot to be done. Not gonna lie to you. There are potholes in a few avenues, but they are really taking care of everything, which is really good. We also have the project to change. Remember, we have the project to change the palace of the government of São Paulo from the Morumbi area to the downtown area again, where it used to be so many decades ago, which will attract more investments, more companies. I have even seen, guys, believe me, I have even seen some wealthy people who live in the south, who live in areas like Vila Mariana, Vila Olímpia, making shorts and reels saying, my husband and I are planning to move into the downtown area because we have been noticing a very different movement in this area. The number of police officers in the downtown area every day, everywhere, makes it the safest place of the whole city nowadays. In the past, it was probably the most dangerous. Nowadays, it's the most or the safest spot in the city. So it makes it the safest area of the city, right? So people are planning to buy properties in the downtown area. How can I say? Anticipating to a movement that is taking shape right now, which is a movement of bringing value to the square meter of the downtown area. Because think about it, the downtown area has access to basically all the subway lines, all kinds of transportation, even with this new train that is going to come to the downtown area, which will make the city even more elegant. The best restaurants, museums, restaurants I mentioned, galleries, cinema. So basically you have everything and you're downtown. You can reach any area of the city very fast. And now with the number of cops that we have in every corner, it's just amazing. You can go out 2, 3 in the morning. Amazing, amazing. 3 in the afternoon, 4 without worrying about your cell phone or, So this is something that is calling the Paulistas' attention very much. So probably they are preparing the field to receive the government again, and also the new things that they want to bring to the area. They want to show the investors and the business people, the entrepreneurs, they can open restaurants, open galleries, open, discos, whatever they want, and they will be safe and their businesses will be protected. So, amazing. Let me tell you something. Josh and Charles are asking about the renovation, what it was before, what it is like today. Look, the city hall, as far as I know, or based upon the things I have read, the city hall is always. I'm not a spokesperson of the city hall. I'm just saying based on what I see. Okay, guys. And I try to read from different places, and I talk to a few people. So the city hall has this concern of keeping what makes the area attractive. For example, what makes Liberdade? It's the Japanese tradition, the lighting that copies the Japanese style. You have those beautiful lightings on the street that represent the Japanese culture. You have some gardens, you have so many stores, signs written in Japanese. They don't want to change the structure. They don't want to destroy the characteristic that is so particular of that area and that attracts people so much. They just want to offer a more spacious and comfortable place for whoever wants to visit. Because sometimes my wife and I here wake up on a Sunday morning and we say, let's go to Liberdade. And she thinks, okay, Liberdade on Sundays is unbelievably packed. Lots of tourists, lots of residents, lots of people from everywhere. We can even walk. We have to wait, I'm not going to say hours, but a good 20 minutes to order a snack. So we end up giving up on that. So I think what the government wants to do is bring organization for the area. Like, let's expand the space, and it's an architectural project. So it's going to involve changing the infrastructure, but not changing the characteristics of the location. So if we are creating a street or a sidewalk in a place where it was nothing before, it was just a big gap between two sides of a hill, now it's going to be a big sidewalk because it's going to cover the avenue, transforming it into a tunnel. We will keep the characteristics of the Japanese culture. So we're going to put the signs that is from Japan, the lighting, all these kind of things will remain after the renovation. So we will also bring new stalls. So if you want to buy things, you go to this side. They will take like the stalls off the streets where people have to dodge sometimes when they're walking. So they'll probably leave a place only for people to pass, and a big corner, very wide corner with all the stalls surrounding. So this way it will bring organization, harmony, and it will stop people like me from not wanting to go because it's too packed. I think you understand what I'm saying, right? Hey, Tails, how are you, man? Doing a great job of cleaning the downtown areas of São Paulo. Many vloggers are now covering them. Thank you. This is the point. I don't want you to believe me only. Of course you believe me because I'm a very honest guy. I don't lie. You guys are the clients here. I value this very much. I have no reason to inflate the ego of the government. I'm just being honest with you. Pay attention to the movement that is taking place in the downtown area. If you don't believe me, go see other people say, because a lot of people are saying the same things that I am saying. A lot of people. And if you are an investor, then you have to pay attention to this. And if you want to invest in São Paulo, of course, because here is a very good place for you to invest and make money. If you want to invest in nature, you can go to Rio, Santa Catarina, whatever. But São Paulo is the capital of South America in terms of business, opportunities, culture. So it's a copy of, I'm not going to say a copy because it's unfair. I was going to say a copy of New York. No, it's a similar sister of the city of New York with its own characteristics, its own traditions. But pay attention to what's happening in the downtown area. That's why I made such a long walking vlog. I could have cut and reduced to 30 minutes, 20. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes because I wanted you guys to see everything that I saw firsthand, in details. Too bad not many people watched that video. Too bad. If you haven't, please do. It's the last walking vlog that I did. It was the downtown area. I filmed everything I could. Everything I could. Of course, there are more areas that I didn't cover because it's in just 2 hours, just impossible. And I plan to go to the other sides and, for example, walk in 25 de Março. If you go to 25 de Março, it's a shopping street. People go shopping there a lot. So many people. How do you control so many people? Guys, you have police officers everywhere. em 25 de março. When I was younger, I heard of pickpocketing, thefts, and all this kind of things. We don't hear that anymore. So many police officers, a police station there. So it's just a very safe area in São Paulo. It's incredible. It's not as beautiful because, remember, they are breaking all the sidewalks, putting Portuguese flooring, just like they did to Vale do Anhangabaú, which is the open area where we have concerts nowadays in São Paulo. But they're changing the flooring, they're bringing modernity and preserving the old, preserving the classic, the elegant. Nobody's changing the facades for something new. They're just renovating, they're keeping the history of the city, which is, for me, essential. Charles is saying, I heard that before it became a Japanese neighborhood, it was originally an Afro-Brazilian neighborhood. However, I'm glad that they're going to keep the neighborhood intact instead of gentrifying it. Yes, it was an African, a Brazilian neighborhood, as far as I know. But I would like to bring the history of, by the way, thank you. That's why I love the live streamings, because you guys give me great ideas. I want to bring you, I have a video about the neighborhood of Liberdade. By the way, I start speaking Japanese at the beginning of the video, and it's not artificial intelligence, because 6 years ago we didn't have artificial intelligence as we do today. My wife speaks basic Japanese, and she taught me, and she said, okay, say that, and I said that, and the Japanese people loved, hey, your husband speaks Japanese. I don't, but it was very nice. But I want to make another video now about Liberdade. About the history, right? Just to tell you what the city was like, what the neighborhood was like, why was it an Afro or African Brazilian neighborhood. We're gonna try to cover everything, okay? Oh, no, I didn't, when I say you're my clients, it means I'm offering a product for you guys, but you guys are my part of my nation. You're family for me. As Tisha likes to say, hello, BU family. Yes, you guys are family. You're not really clients. But I just meant I look at you guys like that as well, so that I can offer you my best. I can make you guys satisfied in terms of the content produced on the channel. You understand the idea, right? But I want to make this video about the Liberdade history and tell you how we became Asian. Because nowadays it's not only Japanese. I think you guys know it's also Korean and Chinese. The Chinese people are coming to Brazil very much as well, guys. Very much. Probably because of the businesses they have and everything. So before the renovation, it looked very clearly 20th century, right? Before it looked modern. Yeah, I mean, look, the renovation has just started, okay, Josh? It's not something that is that has been taking place for a while. No, it's just started. They're changing the pavements and also the sidewalks. They're gonna, because there are areas of the neighborhood that have holes on the sidewalk, so they are going to remove all of them, make it even so that people don't get hurt, don't break their ankles or foot or anything like that. But they will keep the facades and yes, the way that the neighborhood was constructed was, of course, during the 20th century. This is when the neighborhood took shape, it became Japanese, so they will keep this. Probably they will increment the decoration of the place with new lighting, as I said, Japanese lighting, so all these kind of things. There is a garden, which, by the way, can be seen on this video of mine. Go to the channel, please, binge watch, or search for the Liberdade video, you'll see. It's one of the most viewed videos of my channel. So there is a garden where people have a fountain, where people toss a coin and make a wish. So this is also, it has a lot of bamboos. It's typical from the Japanese culture, right? You have bamboos everywhere. So it's interesting to see that thing because this place could use some renovation as well. In the water, on the bridge that goes over the little lake that they have there, it could use some painting. You know what I mean? So I really hope the city hall goes for it, goes for all the areas of that neighborhood, and really, really make people travel to Japan when they go to that area. That's what I expect. As when you go to Chinatown in the US, I want you guys to be able to go to Liberdade and say, my God, look at that. Because even the Brazilian banks that open their branches in the neighborhood, they have the facade that is very Japanese-like. So it's amazing. Yeah, Charles is saying that many Japanese Paulistas have gone elsewhere. Yes, I said this at the beginning. That um, there are many Japanese Paulistas from Liberdade on. So if you go, for example, but I mean on to the south, right? If you go to the area of Paulista, if you go to the area of Paraíso, Santa Cruz, Ana Rosa, but more specifically Vila Mariana, because Vila Mariana is a great neighborhood. There are a lot of Japanese descendants there. And then you go to the area of Praça Santa Cruz. I'm following the subway, okay, to make it easy for you guys. Praça da Árvore, Saúde, the neighborhood of Saúde, and also the neighborhood of São Judas. Before going to the airport of Congonhas, you're going to find a lot of Japanese descendants. We lived by the São Judas subway station, the blue line, north to south. We lived in the south. I still do, but more specifically the area of São Judas at the time. In my daughter's classroom, 70% of the kids were Japanese descendants. Sometimes the teacher was. So it was getting more common for us day by day to have Japanese friends, to deal with the Japanese culture, because they are everywhere in the south here. It's not only specifically Liberdade. Marcos is saying, eu moro na Saúde. I live in Saúde/São Judas. Thanks, Marcos, for being here. Obrigado por estar aqui. Probably Marcos will say there are a lot of Japanese neighbors here, or merchants, or restaurant owners, because this area is populated by the culture, by the community, right? The Japanese community. No, I was talking specifically, Josh, about the Koreans, the South Koreans, and the Chinese. If it's just East Asian, I don't know. I know that normally they try to live among the other Asians when they come here, but Brazil is a very mixed country. They just go there as a choice because probably they at the start they're not familiarized with how Brazil works. They think people have to live in ghettos or in communities like the Mexicans here, the French there, or the Japanese here. No, until they realized in Brazil everybody lives mixed, it's okay. But normally they go to Liberdade to reside. So the community of the South Koreans is big nowadays, and Chinese as well. But the Japanese have always been there, so it's important to say. Marcos disse, acabei de voltar I have just come back from Bluefit. I passed by Bluefit every day when I took my daughter to her school. She used to study on Fagundes Filho Avenue. So I lived here back close to Praça da Árvore. So I walked 30 minutes every day. I took her by subway and returned home on foot. And then sometimes I went on foot to pick her up for an exercise and then returned by subway. So this Bluefit Marcos is saying is very familiar for me because it's on Jabaquara Avenue and I would walk by every day. So the community of Japanese in this area is really big. Make my way to Japan. Yeah, this is a country. There are a few Brazilians there. I don't know how many. At least here, guys. You guys know I play basketball on Fridays. There's a church here close to home. And you might have seen videos and everything. Charlie Rowe, boa noite a todos. Boa noite, Charlie. Welcome. So now we have a Charles and a Charlie. Very good to see you guys here. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to be here on the channel. It means a lot, right? I play with Japanese descendants. Like almost 100%, 90%, 95% of the people are Japanese descendants in the basketball team. It's very nice. I love my Japa women. I've been to see Congonhas Airport. Okay, it's my go-to airport. Yeah, I don't know if you are aware, Charles. They also. I think I will shut up because you will end up not believing. But São Paulo is also, although I think the renovation here is not Paulista, it's federal. When we talk about airports, we talk about the federation, the federal government. So Lula, not Tarcísio. But they're gonna renovate Congonhas Airport, and Congonhas Airport, I have heard it's gonna become an international airport as well. Can you imagine you flying from the United States straight into the city of São Paulo, and then from São Paulo, from the airport there, you can take a train anywhere or a subway because there is gonna be the monorail to reach the Congonhas Airport. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what this city is gonna look like in probably 5 years, in a 5-year time. It's gonna be amazing. Not that I am aware of, Josh, Indonesians and South Asians. First of all, I wouldn't be able to identify South Asians of different states, right? But not that I know of. Maybe one here, another there. Normally, South Koreans, Chinese, and Japanese. These are the communities that we see much. And also the other South Americans. We see a lot of Bolivians in Brás, sometimes Peruvians, sometimes Venezuelans. We see a mix of these peoples as well, but in different neighborhoods. For example, I think I've already said that the South Americans, they tend, or the other South Americans, they tend to stay in the Brás region, Luz region, the Luz neighborhood, the Brás neighborhood. You have a lot of Bolivians, maybe Paraguayans as well. Marcos, have you been a subscriber for long? Você é inscrito daqui há bastante tempo? It's your first time here? Tell us, please. He says, I live on the other side of Fagundes Filho. We need to meet. Definitely. Definitely. It's going to be a pleasure. From what I can tell, there are quite a few Japanese Brazilians who live there. Many of them got a bad deal when they went there for work, but mainly stayed in Japan. Yeah, I don't know the history. It's funny because when I made, let me tell you this thing. There are some people that They need to be studied, I guess. When I made my first video about Liberdade, and I told the story of, oh, this is the biggest Japanese community outside Japan. Man, there was a girl who is a Japanese descendant who lives in the United States that got very angry. She became a troll against me. She started criticizing the video, criticizing my information, saying that I was wrong because the Japanese would always speak the United States to Brazil. So Brazil was like a last resort. A lot of xenophobic things she told me because she got angry because I said, just a second, everything okay? I can't open the door and the cat goes inside. Go. So she got really angry because I said Brazil has got the biggest Japanese community outside Japan. And it's true. If you do your research, you will see that I was not lying, right? And it's incredible. She got really angry, to the point I had to block her because every day she was sending hate messages saying I was wrong, Brazil was a crap, and the United States was much better, and blah, blah, blah. And the people would always choose Brazil to the United States to Brazil. So only the Japanese who couldn't go to the US came to Brazil. And I said, look, I don't know about that because the people who live here, who have lived here, they have been living here for decades. So I don't see anybody saying, oh, let's go back to Japan. They really create their families here. They raise their families here. So, but it's interesting to see why they preferred Brazil other than the other countries. You know, it's beyond me. I don't know. I think I need to study a little bit more of the history. It's just sounded attractive. But it so did for the Italians, for the Portuguese, for the Spanish, you know. Maybe, Charles. I have never heard of these airports that you are mentioning, but I hope so. Because, look, I know the Congonhas airport already receives a lot of flights, even international flights, but with connections, okay? They have a connection in São Paulo, so they stop here, and from here they go somewhere, maybe Argentina. But, you know, I just think it's gonna be outstanding, out of the world, because they have very important projects for that airport. You know, in the past we had some horrible accidents. I don't know if you guys remember, like airplanes hitting the tower after failing to stop on the forgot the name, guys. I forgot the name of the track where you land. My goodness, refresh my memory, please. I was gonna say catwalk. It's not a catwalk. Airstrip, right? So, but anyways, they have plans to make this airport very modern, big, expand, offer a better service, bring restaurants into the place. So the best way to do that is to give it to the private sector, just like it happened to GRU Airport. GRU Airport is much better nowadays because it's in the hands of the private sector, the companies, through concession. So, but the expansion is already starting. Runway, thank you, Charles. I said airstrip. Airstrip is more inside the jungle, I believe. Runway. So how did you meant to respond so angry at you for just saying that Brazil has a... Ah, man, one thing that I try, Josh, I try to keep my cool, because the internet brings you the possibilities of talking to people of different backgrounds, with different problems, with different stories. So my job here is not to confront or create a conflict against anybody. Look, I don't take an hour and a half of my time to create problems or to deal with the things that I wouldn't need if I weren't in front of the screen, right? It's a time that I do for pleasure. I want to share my experience as a Brazilian with you guys. So I just kept my cool and I tried to answer all the comments. But there's something I have learned. There's nothing worse than trying to teach something to someone who's not willing to learn. This is a lesson I share with you guys. People who really close their ears for you, they won't listen to whatever you say. Forget it. And that was that kind of person that I'm talking about. She was that kind of person. When I realized I was wasting my time, I just stopped it. But of course, I'm not going to be offended. So, like for free. So I just blocked her because she was starting to mess with things. And I don't want her to get on the nerves of the other subscribers that follow the channel. So I ended up blocking her. Because I saw that it was just hatred speaking. So what can I do? Yes, you just said it all. You, if I'm not mistaken, you are the descendant of immigrants, no? Was that you that told me that your parents are from Indonesia? I think it was you, no? So just so you see, my best friends from the United States, they have I have two that are Americans in many generations, but many are Haitians, Jamaicans. So different stories, and it's okay, because immigration. Look, guys, the planet is ours. As long as we respect the laws, we should have the right to visit the whole planet. The planet belongs to. Josh's parents are from Indonesia. So probably Josh is the first generation of American in his family. So, very common. These kind of things happen. Exactly, Josh. The only people in Brazil that were always in Brazil are the indigenous people that are, yes, just like in the United States, the Indians, right? The Mohicans, right? We say one of the tribes were the Mohicans, if I'm not mistaken. There's even a very famous story, the last of the Mohicans. So, yes, guys, Europe colonized the planet, okay? Asia was a very secretive place at the time, but the Europeans, they spread out, right? So it's very funny. Like sometimes I am browsing through pages and going in different channels or shorts, and I see my people fighting the Portuguese, verbally speaking, arguing, quarreling with the Portuguese because of the gold that was stolen from here by them. Oh, because you have stolen our gold. Jesus Christ, man. Look at what you're gonna tell the Portuguese. Hey, you have stolen our gold. Give us back. What the heck, man? Are you an Indian? Only if you are an Indian you can say that, because even the Portuguese said, you guys are so stupid. And I had to agree with him in this moment, because there was no Brazil. There was a land that had a lot of Indians, and the Portuguese went there. Right? So, yeah, if it was stolen from the Indians, not from you guys, because you guys are us. But many generations ahead. It's true. Look, I shut up one day when I was kind of mentioning that the Portuguese explored and destroyed many areas in the country. And one Australian guy, it wasn't a live stream. I was embarrassed. So after that day, I'm going to say, I said to myself, I need to pay attention to what I say. Otherwise, I'm going to make a fool out of myself. The guy turned to me and he said, Mark, from Australia. So if you are watching, buddy, you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you for educating me. He turned to me and he said, Mark, you are the Portuguese. Or you have Italian descendancy, Spanish. I said the Portuguese. You are the Portuguese. You are the colonizer. You can't say the Portuguese destroyed, because it's your descendancy. It's your blood. You wouldn't exist if it weren't for the Portuguese going to Brazil. Think about it. I shut up. I said, I can't reply. I can't answer to that argument. He is completely right. And the funny thing, after that day, a cousin of mine who lives in Portugal, he went to that website. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. If you haven't, I recommend. It's from the Mormons, from Utah in the United States. The name is familysearch.org. An amazing website for you to build your family tree. If you type the name of wherever you are from, okay? Doesn't matter. If you type the name of a late relative, like a late grandmother or a deceased grandmother, for example, they might have her document in their system already. Happened to me. I put the name of a great grandmother, and from her I discovered all the lineage that dated back to the Portuguese of 1400s. So even the first guy of my family who immigrated to São Paulo back in 1585 or something like this, they had the documentation. And the funny thing, this descendant that I have, this ancestor that I have, he and the history of São Paulo, they mix together because he worked for the government of at the time it was a province. They worked together. He worked for the government. His name appears in all official historical books in the city. Portuguese. So, everywhere, right, guys? I mean, you have immigrants in Argentina, mostly Spanish, Colombia, right? Everywhere, basically. If not like an immigration, maybe there was a mix before they colonized the land as well. Because there are some peoples that came before the name of the country, right? Like the Jewish came before the state of Israel. Like the German existed before the construction of Germany, right? The British, okay, the name came after, but the British are in its majority from Germany, from the German tribes. That's why English is such a mix of German and Latin as well, because of the Roman Empire. So the Anglo-Saxon, right? The Angles. So it's very interesting to see how these movements are important for the continuation of our species. And I even had this in a class one day. The biology professor, he said, if we didn't have a mix, we would be dead already. Because by mixing, we have been able to create defense, body defense against many of the illnesses and viruses. So you can judge for yourself, right? Look at how interesting Charlie Rowe is bringing for us. The Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated as of 2022, there were 2 million. There were, probably wanted to say over 2 million people, I don't know, descendants in Brazil. Yes, that's it. No wonder their emperor came here. I don't know if it was the emperor. Somebody from the Japanese royal family came here. Probably the princess, Akihito, if I'm not mistaken. She came here. I forgot there is another state, Mato Grosso. I don't know if it's Mato Grosso or Mato Grosso do Sul has a lot of Japanese people, even with the language being spoken, schools in Japanese. See, Brazil is very open for this, for leaving, letting people be who they are. That's fantastic, you know. I think the 2 weeks ago, the princess was here and she took a regular commercial flight. Everybody was baffled. Wow, she's flying with us. How possible is this? And she went to Mato Grosso do Sul, I guess, because she wanted to visit this Japanese community. In celebration of the many years, more than 100 years of yeah, Paraná as well. Thanks, Charles. Paraná as well. Guys, let me just give some very fast pieces of news here, or notices, right? Remember, we have two other channels that you can visit. If you roll up the chat to the beginning, the links are already there. I always forget to put under the description, but I will try to do that. Go visit. One is about Brazilian Portuguese, and the other one is about Brazilian market. I want to create this channel only for you guys to learn about investments in Brazil, everything that happens in the finances of the country. I'm going to be reporting. I'm just trying to find a machine to clone myself to help me on this adventure. But pretty soon I'll find a way to organize myself and put all these things into practice. I also want to say, if you are new here, welcome. Remember to subscribe to the channel. It's very important that you help us grow the numbers. It's a pleasure to have you here. There are more than 400 videos you can go and binge watch and learn a little bit about the country with me and my family and my friends, especially from the United States, that are always giving me interviews, participating in the videos. That's very nice. But I also want to say, guys, I work with investments. So if you want to find a property wherever in Brazil, let me know, because I work with a big group here nowadays that allows me to offer you all kinds of investment. The other day, I received a request to find the fertilizers to a very remote country in Asia. And we were able to offer the fertilizers the guys buy. They used to buy from Russia and Ukraine, but because of the war, they migrated to South America, and the first focus was Brazil. And they called me because of the channel. So if you guys want to invest in Brazil, whatever your business is, I hope it's legal, because we don't do illegal stuff. I have to be very honest. Just legal, just by the books, everything honest. You can talk to me and I will find this opportunity for you. One more thing, we also work providing visas. We are backed by one of the biggest and most reliable and strongest law offices in the country, having their bases in São Paulo on Paulista Avenue. So if you guys need to get a visa for Brazil, be that retirement, whatever. In the past, I tried to help a guy with a retirement visa. I was not successful. So right now, I have the help of a very renowned law office. So I can offer you the opportunity to get whatever visa you want for Brazil. You can send me a message. I can consult the guys and we can see how it works, okay? They work in partnership with us, but we can provide together everything that you guys need, okay? I have to go. I need to say that to you because I have a class at 8 p.m. If you guys don't know about me, I'm also a Brazilian Portuguese teacher. I teach the Brazilian Portuguese using my own methodology. I have written 5 books during the pandemic, and the books are great. And I teach people how to speak Portuguese in less than 1.5 years. If you don't trust me, you can try. You can send me a message. I will explain everything. And also, I teach English for Brazilians. So I got a class right now. Thank you very much for each and every one of you who were here tonight. Hope you guys can watch the video about Festa Junina from last Saturday. Please help me with the numbers. The numbers are very little because I made a mistake. The live was going well, but I mentioned a document of my own during the live, and I don't want this to be open for the world, of course, to avoid fraud. So I try to edit it out, the video. I couldn't, so I just transformed this into a regular video, and the numbers dropped, of course. So if you can watch and check what we did last Saturday and learn about Festa Junina, thank you very much. But I gotta go, because my student is gonna be waiting for me in 7 minutes. I still need to eat something. Thank you very much. We'll be here on Friday. I hope you are too. I hope you can be here with me next Friday, 6:30 Brasilia time. Just want to tell you, if you guys are coming to São Paulo this week, be aware that another big wave of cold weather is coming. It's been said that Wednesday it's gonna be 4 degrees Celsius, which is 39 Fahrenheit. So if you're coming to São Paulo, bring the jacket, because the temperature is gonna drop significantly. 4 degrees is very cold for us, guys. We're normally accustomed to 12, maybe 15, or 15, maybe 12, but 4 in the morning, 39 Fahrenheit is very, very low. Oh, very nice. So when you are in São Paulo, if you need anything, let me know, okay? You can send me a direct message on Instagram. By the way, follow me there as well, okay? Follow me there on Instagram, please. Brazil.unsubtitled. Yeah, 39 degrees is gonna be on Wednesday. And my daughter goes to school in the morning, Charles. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, man, because, you know, she has tests, it's the last week. I need to go. But anyways, God bless you all. Deus abençoe vocês. Tenham uma excelente semana. Have an amazing week. And I'll be there. And here again soon. May God allow, I will post a new video on Wednesday for you guys not to miss me so much. Wednesday and Friday, I'll be here 6:30. Please be here. See you all. Bye-bye.